Forge! Go! I'm still a heart man. Let's go! I am your host, ImperatorOfForge, otherwise known as Forge Warhammer. I am the leader of Forge Gang. And we are here to talk about the next Dragon Ball arc that Akira Toriyama, the Mensch, the man, the legend himself, the creator of the Dragon Ball mangaka. I am going to tell you about the Devil Emperor Piccolo arc. Yes, the Demon King Piccolo arc. The Piccolo Daimao arc, or saga. This will be from the manga and not from the anime. So, those parts of the anime that have filler will not be covered in this review. So, this is the ImperatorOfForge review of the Devil Emperor Piccolo World Conquest arc. There are two warring races. There is the race of man and the race of demons, or yokai devils, that are fighting and warring for the fate of the planet Earth. And everything is at stake. The world and mankind is at stake in this incredible, exciting adventure. Akira Toriyama wrote and based Demon King Piccolo and Piccolo in general from his first editor, Toroshima. Yes, indeed. Dr. Macharito and Devil Emperor Piccolo were based on Toriyama's first editor, Toroshima. His second editor, Yu Kondo, was his inspiration for Frieza. And then his last editor, he based Majin Buu off of his third editor. Toriyama has a history of a love-hate relationship with his editors at Shonen Jump, and quite oftentimes he would base a lot of the villains in his stories off of his editors. I'm not going to go into that, but if you wanted to know, Dr. Macharito and Piccolo were based off of his first editor, Toroshima. So anyways, we last covered the 22nd Greatest Under the Heavens Martial Arts Tournament. It is not the World Martial Arts Tournament, dub retard. It is the Greatest Under the Heavens Martial Arts Tournament. Anyways, Goku finished fighting in the tournament, and he finds Krillin dead. Krillin is screaming and yelling, going, "Ki-ya!" And Goku rushes headlong into the room to find that his lifelong best friend, the person that he spent several years training in the Turtle Hermit School, Krillin, has been killed. The tournament announcer is knocked out, but he eventually comes to. And we find out that the tournament register of all of the martial arts finalists has been stolen, and Goku's grandfather's memento, the 4-star Dragon Ball, has been stolen by a demon. Not much is really given about this demon or this yokai demon that stole these items. And so right away, the first new adventure the new setting of Dragon Ball takes a very dark turn. Toriyama did not originally set his manga to be very deeply based upon storytelling or to be focused on a lot of dark undertones. But the Devil Emperor Piccolo arc is the first arc in Dragon Ball that is very sinister and has a very dark and very demonic and sinister undertone. Lots of people die. There is quite a bit of storytelling, although it is not quite yet what he would later write. So, Goku is crying in tears. He is heartbroken that his sensei, Krillin, has been murdered by a demon, and Goku wants to take revenge on that demon. So, just like in the Saiyan arc, where Goku uses the Dragon Radar to follow the Dragon Ball that's on Gohan's cap when he is kidnapped by Raditz, and Goku and Piccolo fly to where Raditz is at following the Dragon Radar, Goku, who realizes that the demon has his grandfather's Dragon Ball, takes the Dragon Radar from Bulma, which is a big mistake on Bulma's part. And Goku jumps headlong on the Kento-Un and flies off to where the demon is at following the Dragon Ball. And little does Goku know that when he runs into this demon, it is actually going to be right above where a second Dragon Ball is nearby. I will get to that in a moment. Alright, so the story continues. So, the tournament announcer comes to and explains what happened. Krillin tried to fight back and resist, but he was no match for the yokai demon. And then a piece of paper is found, and it has the Japanese kanji symbol for devil or demon. It has the kanji symbol of the devil or demon on it. Yokai devil, yokai demon. This is the only piece of evidence that actually connects the puzzle together. As soon as the mutant Roshi sees this paper, he immediately shrivels and freaks out. This is truly the first time that we ever see Master Roshi, himself truly afraid and in utter fear and awe and disparity, to know that that is the demonic insignia of the Devil Emperor Piccolo, the ancient lord of devils and demons of the earth, who once terrorized and brought the entire world into utter darkness and almost caused the extinction of humankind on the earth. So, anyways, we go into a bit of a backdrop story where Master Roshi explains that hundreds of years ago, his own senpai, Master Mutaieto, who in fact was the martial arts master who trained Roshi and Shen, the Crane Hermit, who was the guy who trained Ten Shenhan and Chao Su, their techniques, and the older brother of mercenary Tao Pai Pai. Many eons ago on Earth, the Devil Emperor Piccolo, like a demonic spawn, appeared out of utter darkness and casted forth his horde of demons upon the world and caused absolute darkness and sinister chaos to happen. One of the things that Piccolo had was a hatred for martial artists, and at some point Roshi and Shen, the Crane Hermit, fought an entire horde of demons and wiped them out. Then Devil Emperor Piccolo flew down from the skies, and they fought him and were no match. However, in a last final-ditch effort to save the future of all of humanity from the devils, Master Mutaito used the Mafuba, the evil containment wave, and sealed the Devil Emperor inside the Denji jar, covered in special Shinto symbols that protect evil or demonic energy or demonic magic from coming out, but at the cost of Mutaeto's own life, for Master Mutaeto died in the endeavor. Roshi threw the Denji jar to the bottom of the ocean, hoping that never again the world would ever see the evil of Devil Emperor Piccolo. And that was the last that the Devil Emperor was seen, until the very day that Roshi saw that piece of paper with the kanji that said devil on it. And indeed, Devil Emperor Piccolo, or Pikaru, had been freed. High up in the skies, we have Emperor Pilaf, Soba, and Mai, and there is an evil throne of skulls. Yes, indeed, an imperial throne like that from Game of Thrones, with human and devil skulls carved into it. And sitting there is Devil Emperor Piccolo, having been set free by Emperor Pilaf, Mai, and Soba, so that Pilaf could obtain his help in conquering the world. Pilaf is still after world domination, and because he can't get the Dragon Balls to do it, he's going to find and free Devil Emperor Piccolo to help him do it. So, of course, Piccolo has lied to Pilaf about letting him rule half of the earth, so long as he rules it himself as the full Devil Emperor. But regardless, Devil Emperor Piccolo is after revenge on the very person who sealed him away. Now, that was hundreds of years ago, and he doesn't have any idea if any martial artist learned that technique, the Mafuba wave, but just by the very sight of his eyes, the Denji jar blows up to nothing. Just by simply looking at it, Piccolo destroys the Denji jar. Meanwhile, Goku is approaching the yokai who killed Krillin, and the great fight ensues. Now, in the anime, there is a pretty good fight between Goku and Tambourine, but in the manga, it isn't really much of a fight. So Goku is pissed off, Goku is mad, Goku is angry, and he's full of revenge and, wanting to get back at Tambourine. And Tambourine is basically a giant humanoid lizard devil demon with bat wings that flies in the air and has the Dragon Ball and the tournament registry papers. And Goku is talking to Tambourine the devil, and Tambourine tells him that with almost no effort he killed Krillin, who literally cried and screamed and cowed to Tambourine as he fell down dead in blood. Goku is utterly furious and he begins to fight. Goku exchanges a few blows with Tambourine. Tambourine hits him a few times with the Dragon Ball and pretty much wipes him out. So then Goku used up all of his ki fighting in the Tenkaichi Budokai, so he's kind of out of energy and worn out. Tambourine fires a demonic Kai blast that destroys the Kento Un. So now the Kento Un is actually gone. Goku is then beat up, knocked out in the clouds, and is somersault punched all the way to the ground and beaten multiple times until he's out. So it appears that Goku is actually dead. Yes, indeed, it appears to be the end of our hero Goku. So Tambourine flies back to Emperor Pilaf's air base, or aerial base, to give Piccolo the first Dragon Ball. At the Tenkaichi Budokai, Roshi explains that Piccolo probably has an out for martial artists and is probably going to be looking for martial artists to kill and to murder because he does not want to be sealed up in another Denji jar by the Mafuba. And so they go back to Master Roshi's island, and they leave the Tenkaichi Budokai, and the tournament announcer tells them to take care and to, make sure to save the world and stuff. This is the origin of the Z Fighters. This is the literal origin of the Z Fighters and them saving the world from bad guys and stuff. So Ten Shenhan and Chao Su become disciples of the mutant Roshi, and with Yamcha and Bulma launch Oolong and Puar. Yamcha's recovering from his broken leg. He's back from the hospital. They go back to Roshi's island because Bulma has to invent another dragon radar. Remember that Goku took the other dragon radar. Now, Tambourine flies back on board Emperor Pilaf's ship, and Devil Emperor Piccolo sees what a Dragon Ball is. And he's talking to Pilaf, and Pilaf is debating about how much of the world he can actually have when Piccolo conquers it. Piccolo says that he's going to use the Dragon Balls. This is the first time that Devil Emperor Piccolo even knows about the Dragon Balls. And this is how you know that Akira Toriyama was not thinking that much ahead. Okay, if Akira Toriyama was already thinking about Namekians and their ability to make Dragon Balls, he would not have written it to where Piccolo does not even know what Dragon Balls are. So Pilaf tells Piccolo that if he gets all 7 Dragon Balls, he can summon Shenlong and wish to have, his youth restored. And when Piccolo gets back his youth, because he aged significantly when he was trapped in the Denshi jar, he is going to rule the earth for all eternity. That is Piccolo's desire, and to kill all martial artists. So Piccolo has Tambourine, his demonic spawn, put posters up of all of the different martial arts finalists from the last 2 tournaments. So we have Ranfan, Pamput, Nam or Namu, Gilan. We have Goku, Krillin, Jackie Chun, Ten Shenhan, Yamcha, Chaosu, and all of the martial arts finalists. And of course, Tambourine already knows that he has already murdered Krillin, so he tears down and destroys that tournament roster. And he also, Pilaf notices Goku's poster. And Pilaf, Mai, and Soba are really nervous because they recognize who Son Goku is. Pilaf has had past encounters with Son Goku. And now they finally realize how Goku was so strong. He actually competed and was runner-up to the last 2 tournaments. But Tambourine says that he has already killed Goku and Krillin, and so destroys the posters of them both. Now, Goku is still alive, but Tambourine thinks that he's dead. And they just assume that Goku was killed by Tambourine. Such is the power and might of the Devil Emperor himself, and the darkness that he will unleash upon the world. So Devil Emperor Piccolo sends his minion, his demonic spawn, the vile devil yokai Tambourine, to go kill every martial artist in the world. So Tambourine flies off and goes forth to kill every martial artist alive on the face of the earth, so that Piccolo will never be sealed away in the Denji jar ever again, and therefore securing his rule over the world. And then Devil Emperor Piccolo decides that he needs to have another demonic yokai offspring in order to go find the other 6 Dragon Balls. So, possibly saying a very strange and weird language. Pof poof papuroka. Porunga no pofu pa-ba-ba. Piccolo says a very unusual and strange chant. A familiar chant. But then his throat clogs up and he spits out a gigantic dinosaur egg, and out of it hatches a new demonic spawn that is now in the form of a dragon. Piccolo chooses this demonic offspring to be in the form of a dragon, whom he calls Symbol. Akira Toriyama decided to name Piccolo and the Demon Clan after musical instruments. So Symbol is demonically born, and Piccolo has Symbol go and get the Dragon Balls. So we have one demonic devil going after tournament fighters, and another devil going after the Dragon Balls. Goku wakes up in a deep forest and is very hungry. He finds a giant cooked fish, which he finds and smells and eats it up. And Goku fills himself up. Goku tries to call the Kento-un, but it does not come. Despite calling on it, even though Colonial Silver blew up the Kento-un, Goku was still able to call back the Kento-un. But this time, there really is no more Kento-un, or Flying Nimbus. So Goku will have to travel on foot. Now Goku finds out from the Dragon Radar that there is another Dragon Ball nearby. And then a giant boulder rushes down towards Goku, and Goku jumps and dodges it. And then there's a few more booby traps that attack Goku. And then someone with a giant, weird voice says, "Give me back my lunch." And Goku looks up on the top of the cliff, and it's a fat guy, a fat samurai with long hair. And he has the 1-star Dragon Ball tied around his neck. This unusual person is very strong, and he is mad that Goku ate his fish, or his giant fish that he captured. Goku tries to talk with the guy about how he found that object around his neck. He explains that he found it somewhere around 3 years ago, right after the Fortune Teller Baba Crone or the Red Ribbon Army saga, and had been wearing it as a memento ever since. He does not know that it is a Dragon Ball. But in the meantime, the guy is mad and he proceeds to fight Goku. And so this individual, the fat samurai, and Son Goku begin to fight, as they exchange blows with one another, and even fight with a samurai katana and the Noibo, Goku's power pole. Then Goku looks up and sees something, a giant monstrous thing flying in the air that lands in front of them both. It is the demon Symbol, the third demonic offspring of Devil Emperor Piccolo. And Goku recognizes from its smell that it's just like the thing or the entity that killed Krillin. Goku wants to gather the 7 Dragon Balls and wish Krillin back to life. Goku wants to use the Dragon Balls to bring Krillin back from death itself. But Goku has a new challenge. So Goku and Symbol are about to fight, or Goku and Symbol are going to fight, but the individual, the unnamed individual, decides that because he lost his lunch, he is going to fight Symbol and eat him. And so, Yajirobe, the guy's name is Yajirobe. Symbol is after Yajirobe's Dragon Ball, and Yajirobe is starving and wants to eat Symbol. And so the two of them fight. Symbol is very huge and very strong, and packs quite a wallop. But Yajirobe turns out to be quite stronger and proceeds to do multiple kicks. Then Symbol fires a few demonic ki blast or kai blasts that are like bolts of lightning, which Yajirobe dodges. Then Yajirobe kicks Symbol and punches him, draws out his samurai katana, and, using the noble art of Bushido, slices Symbol in twain. and Symbol dies. Immediately, Devil Emperor Piccolo senses that something happened. His stomach is groaning. He is absolutely shocked. Piccolo tells Piano that Symbol has been murdered. Piccolo is truly angry and mad that Symbol is dead, and decides that he will send Tambourine to go after the person who assassinated Symbol. And so on that note, Yajirobe puts Symbol up on a stick and cooks him up and eats him. Goku almost gets sick looking at it, but nevertheless, Yajirobe eats up Symbol. At Master Roshi's island, Yamcha is training as his leg begins to recover. And Yamcha is going through extreme training and is trying to get stronger. Regardless, Ten Shenhan and Chaosu and Master Roshi are talking about who could have freed Devil Emperor Piccolo. Ten Shenhan thinks, or Chaosu thinks, it might have been the Crane Hermit or Shin. But Roshi points out that Shin would have been the last person in the world to have actually done such a horrible thing. On the television, there is news that various martial artists, all of them finalists of the Tenkaichi Budokai, have been mysteriously murdered by an assassin. At some village, Gilan is in the middle of a fight with the devil Tambourine. Tambourine and Gilan, the guy that Goku fought in the quarterfinals of the 21st Greatest Under the Heavens martial arts tournament, is fighting for his very life. But even though he tries to use his special gulping gulp gum, like he did on Goku at the tournament to entrap Tambourine, Tambourine with no effort breaks free, and with his own claws incapacitates Gilan and kills him on the spot, murdering him instantly and electrocuting him to death. Tambourine also kills one of the villagers called Papa Bear. Tambourine says that that was just his job, but killing Papa Bear was just merely for fun, telling the humans that they are absolutely weak and unworthy to have dominion over the earth with the demons. And with that, Tambourine flies off, leaving a paper with the devil kanji on it every time he murders a tournament finalist. Then Piccolo contacts Tambourine telepathically and tells Tambourine that Symbol has been murdered and he must go to the location. So Emperor Pilaf has a gigantic dragon radar detection machine, and he gives Tambourine, like he gave Symbol, the coordinates to go to, and Piccolo tells him by mind-reading Tambourine. So Tambourine goes where Symbol was at. And it is here that Goku has his rematch with Tambourine. Tambourine flies down like the true demonic devil that he actually is, and proceeds to fight Goku. Goku is actually quite surprised to find Tambourine so early, and Tambourine is shocked that Goku is actually alive. But Tambourine tells Goku that this time he will succeed. And so Son Goku, vengeful of his friend's death, begins his fight against the devil yokai Tambourine, the murderer of martial artists the world over. And so the great battle ensues. Tambourine performs multiple lightning kicks and punches. Goku is unaffected and uses the Zanzoken. Much in the same way that he did with Ten Shenhan, Goku uses a multiform Zanzoken around Tambourine and then proceeds to punch the shit out of Tambourine. Goku is mad. He wants revenge. Goku is out for blood. Goku punches Tambourine multiple times, kicks him, throws him on the ground, trances him, pounds him, stomps him in the face, kicks him in the, I won't tell you, under the belt, and throws him around. Tambourine is covered in his own blood. Like, Tambourine cannot believe how strong Goku is. Goku goes to full all-out assault and pounds the crap with Tambourine. He pounds and almost knocks out Tambourine's eyeball. So Tambourine flies up into the air and fires a giant Kai blast out of his mouth that doesn't even affect Goku. Then Goku, using the Noibo, extends up and fires a Kamehameha and kills Tambourine. Tambourine is destroyed. Last time Goku fired a Kamehameha, Tambourine ate it. Now Tambourine is gone. Piccolo gets another psychic shock, only to now know that now Tambourine is also dead. Now Devil Emperor Piccolo informs Pilaf and his minions to drive the airship to the location of where Symbol and Tambourine both died, and they do so. Roshi, Ten Shinhan, and Chaozu have a new dragon radar, and they fly off and begin searching for the Dragon Balls. This is the only time in Dragon Ball that Roshi, Ten Shinhan, and Chaozu go on a search for the Dragon Balls. More or less, they find the first 4 Dragon Balls very quickly and proceed to find the 5th Dragon Ball as they fly forth. Ten Shinhan is very concerned about what they should do in regards to the Devil Emperor Piccolo threat, and hopefully prevent another series of Devil Emperor Piccolo Wars or Demon King Piccolo Wars like there had been centuries ago. Indeed, the world itself was truly in utter fear of Devil Emperor Piccolo, and they don't want that darkness to befall the world a second time. Roshi explains that they can use the Dragon Balls to destroy Devil Emperor Piccolo with the dragon, and then in a year, when the Dragon Balls regenerate, they can use the Dragon Balls to bring Krillin back to life, as well as the martial arts finalists, much in the same way that Goku brought back Bora in the Red Ribbon Army arc. Regardless, they put Krillin's dead body inside a preservation capsule to preserve his body for 1 year while the Dragon Balls regenerate from being turned into stones. Anyways, Yajirobe and Goku get into a big argument, and Yajirobe is mad that Goku did not let him eat Tambourine's dead body after he killed Tambourine. And they're kind of arguing about it, and Goku talks about the Dragon Balls and stuff, and about Krillin's death, and all of that, and Yajirobe has no idea what Dragon Balls are. Then a gigantic flying fortress appears right over them, and it is Emperor Pilaf's flying fortress. Devil Emperor Piccolo, Emperor Pilaf, Mai, Soba, and Piano, the first demonic spawn that Piccolo had after he was released from the Denshi jar, come out, and they tell Piccolo where the Dragon Ball is at, and there is another Dragon Ball. Piccolo is, of course, wearing the 4-star Dragon Ball around his neck, and so he flies down. Yajirobe flees away from the scene because he's actually scared about what's going to happen. He gives his Dragon Ball to Goku. And so there's actually going to be a fight where both contestants are wearing a Dragon Ball around their neck. So Goku and Devil Emperor Piccolo meet for the first time, and Goku wants to know who Piccolo is. Piccolo explained that long ages ago the world feared his very name, and tells Goku who he is. But Goku is brave and bold and prepares to fight Piccolo. And so the fight begins. Goku strikes the first attack and kind of overpowers Piccolo apparently and knocks him out. Piccolo is actually bleeding a drip of blood on his thumb. He is quite surprised how strong the youth is. So Piccolo takes off his cape, his red Dracula cape, and the black garment that has the devil kanji on it, and powers up and goes at full throttle. Piccolo moves so fast that Goku is barely able to keep up with him. Goku cannot even see his movements. Piccolo assaults and charges Goku, and blood drops out of Goku's mouth as he is punched. In fact, one of his teeth is actually knocked out in this fight. Piccolo pounds and throws Goku into the ground and punches him repeatedly. He throws Goku and kicks him with his claws and strikes forth with his fangs and claws. Piccolo does multiple punches and kicks on Goku. Goku is able to lunge back and fight back somewhat. At this point, Goku is now stronger than Master Roshi, but no match for Devil Emperor Piccolo. So Goku and Piccolo go at each other at full thrust, and they fight and they do various things. Goku seems to have at first the upper hand, but Piccolo begins to draw in his full power. He kicks Goku several miles up into the sky, way up above the clouds, and kicks Goku and somersault punches him all the way back down to the ground, right into the dirt. Then Piccolo flies down, pulls Goku up by the leg, and smashes him like a rag doll into rocks, and throws him into a boulder. Goku crawls out and fires a Kamehameha. When Piccolo sees Goku drawing upon the Kamehameha, he thinks it might be the Mafuba, then realizes that it is not, and Goku fires a direct hit of the full-powered Kamehameha on Devil Emperor Piccolo, who is unharmed. Then Piccolo fires a yellow demonic energy blast that Goku dodges, and fires another one out of his arm that he charges up as his muscles get bigger and is covered in yellow energy. This time, the blast hits Goku, and Goku falls to the ground dead. In fact, Piccolo rubs Goku's chest, and his heart has stopped beating. Goku is dead. So Piccolo pulls off the Dragon Ball and flies back up to the airship with the Bukujutsu technique, and they go on to get the other Dragon Balls. Yajirobe notices that Goku is still warm. Although his heart has stopped beating, his blood is still warm. So Yajirobe dumps Goku headlong into a pond or a lake or a stream, and is able to get Goku to choke, which allows his heart to start beating. Yajirobe is really impressed with how strong of a human Goku is, and says that Goku has the heart of a gorilla. So Goku has been damaged, and Goku says that he needs to go to Korin Tower to get a Senzu Bean. Goku needs to go see Karin-sama to help him, and so Yajirobe pulls out a capsule, opens up a some kind of a car, and they head their way to the sacred land of Korin. Meanwhile, Ten Shenhan, Master Roshi, and Chaozu find the 6th Dragon Ball. And they take it to this giant wasteland, and they put the 5 Dragon Balls under the ground. Roshi notices that whoever, perhaps Piccolo, who now has 2 Dragon Balls, are now pursuing them. meaning that Piccolo is now pursuing after their Dragon Balls. So Roshi hides the Dragon Balls. They turn their ship back into a hoi poi capsule and put it up. Ten Shenhan and Chaosu hide out. Roshi points out that in the event that something happens, that they need to call Shenlong and wish for Demon King Piccolo to cease to exist. And so that's what Chaosu is doing. Chaosu will wait for the right moment to wish for Piccolo to disappear for good. And then Roshi sprays Ten Shenhan with some kind of mustard gas that temporarily paralyzes Ten Shenhan. Then the airship, Pilaf's airship shows up. Piccolo flies down and calls forth whoever it is to come and appear. So Roshi shows up and faces Devil Emperor Piccolo. Piccolo points out that Roshi is truly a brave soul to confront him. And Roshi explains that this is not the first time they've met before. So Roshi tells Piccolo that the 5 Dragon Balls are in the pit. Piccolo has his 2 Dragon Balls in his throat that he swallowed them into, which means that they cannot get to the Dragon Balls because Piccolo has them. Therefore, having no choice, Roshi pulls out a capsule, opens the Denji jar, and performs the Mafuba wave on Devil Emperor Piccolo. Piccolo is truly surprised, as is Piano. Now, Piccolo tries to fly away, but he is captured. As he is being dragged into the Mafumba, he loses his physical body and turns into a demonic spirit and is thrown at full throttle into the Denji jar. But at the last second, Roshi misses. Piccolo gets back his physical form and the Denji jar is broken or damaged, which means that Roshi has lost. And because Roshi is old and frail and used such a powerful technique, he dies. Roshi falls and dies, and Goku is actually able to sense Roshi's spirit passing away. Although Goku is not sure what had just happened, as Yajirobe, who stole the car, and Goku are flying through a city or some kind of a town on their way to Karin's tower. At any rate, Piccolo, with levitation, pulls out the Dragon Balls, puts the 7 Dragon Balls together, and calls forth Shenlong. The sky turns absolute dark instantly. Goku and Yajirobe notice that it turns nighttime all of a sudden, as if it's gotten really dark. Thunder and lightning rage across the heavens, and there is a bolt of lightning or energy that springs out of the Dragon Balls, and the dragon Shenlong appears. So Devil Emperor Piccolo asks if Shenlong can give him back his youth, and asks if he can do this, and Shenlong says that he most definitely can. At the very last second, Chaosu wishes for Devil Emperor Piccolo to disappear. However, Piccolo fires a Kai blast that kills Chaosu before he can finish the wish. Ten Shenhan is truly heartbroken and despaired, and is in despair. So Devil Emperor Piccolo wishes to the dragon god Shenlong to have his youth and power rejuvenated. And the dragon does this. Piccolo's old, wrinkled-up skin is reduced. He loses his freckles. He loses his aged skin. His muscles in his arms pop out and become huge and bulky. His chest pops out. His muscles pop out. He returns back to his primal youth and power. And then Piccolo fires a blast out of his mouth at the dragon and kills Shenlong. Yes, you heard me right. Piccolo destroys the dragon god Shenlong in one attack. The dragon blows up, its broken up, bleeding arm falls down in front of Piccolo's boots, and it disappears into thin air. It vanishes into thin air as if it did not exist. The Dragon Balls are just stone balls, and the sky returns to normal. It's a very unusual scene. Also, the Dragon Balls are no longer detectable on the Dragon radar. So Piccolo, now back at his prime, flies up to the airship and proceeds to attack the king's castle. Piccolo is going to rule the world with an absolute demonic tyranny. So anyways, Goku and Yajirobe are able to see Karin's tower, which stands tens of kilometers into the sky as they finally approach the forest of the sacred land of Karin. So Piccolo and Pilaf discuss about how they're going to take over the world, and Piccolo tells Pilaf that he isn't going to share with no one. Now that there is no power on the face of the earth that can stop Devil Emperor Piccolo and the Demon Clan, he is going to get rid of Pilaf. So they go up atop of the ship. Pilaf, Soba, and Mai jump off the flying machine and fall to the ground, where they hit their heads and they have giant, they basically have head injuries. And this is the last that we will be seeing of Emperor Pilaf, Soba, and Mai. Quite often they reappear in the manga, but at this point, we just don't see them anymore. So no more Pilaf and no more Soba or Mai. They fail every single time they try to do some evil plot to rule the world, and now they got a bunch of head injuries, but, you know, they survived. Anyways, Piccolo goes to the king's castle. There is about 43 kingdoms in the earth. The earth, or the world, is divided into 47 kingdoms or 47 nations. And Piccolo plans on how he's going to conquer the world. So they head to the northern or to the central capital. Goku and Yajirobe arrive at Bora's tent. Appa is very surprised to see Goku back after 3 years. Appa has been training very hard to fight and to be as strong as Goku, and everyone is excited to meet each other again. Goku explains about what's going on, that the world is in danger, and he needs to get the Dragon Balls to wish his friends back from death, and he needs to go see Karin. So, with Yajirobe's help, and Yajirobe reluctantly agrees to do it, Goku gets on Yajirobe's back. Bora throws Yajirobe about halfway up Karin's tower. However, they are nowhere near the top, and so, after an entire day and an entire night of Yajirobe very begrudgingly and tiringly climbing up Karin's tower, they make it to the top to see Karin again. This is the second time that Karin actually appears in Dragon Ball. Regardless, Piccolo makes it to King's Castle, or to the central capital, which has the giant King's Castle, which is like a giant tower surrounded by medieval walls and turrets. And they proceed to capture King Chao. However, Piccolo and Piano run into a group of guards that fire on them, so Piccolo fires his eye lasers and kills them all. Then a whole horde of security royal guards surround Piccolo. Piccolo wipes them out, and pretty much like Darth Vader kills them all, and then tears down the gate to the castle in a Darth Vader style. Then they go inside King Chao's castle, and it's here that a very brave security royal guard confronts Devil Emperor Piccolo, and Piccolo lets him fight him a bit. He dodges, and then he throws his arms right through the guy's body and impales him to death. Piano finds out that the king is trying to fly away, so they go to the top of the tower, and Piccolo flies right up to the airship and lands on it. The last of the royal guards and the king are truly shocked at who Piccolo really is. Piccolo explains that he is taking over and he is now the one in charge. He pulls up the driver, who points a gun at him and throws him, and he falls to the ground and dies. Then Piccolo powers up and fires a Kai blast that destroys an entire city block in a gigantic explosion. It's like several car bombs going off at once. There is a gigantic mess of vehicles and vehicle wreckage and fallen city blocks or city buildings and stuff, and King Chao accepts surrender. Piccolo is now the ruler of one kingdom and will soon be the ruler of Earth. And so, at Master Roshi's island, Ten Shenhan is telling Bulma, Yamcha, Oolong, Puar, and Launch what has happened, that Roshi and Chaozu are dead. They're talking about the Dragon Balls, and Ten Shenhan explains that the Dragon Balls are gone. Piccolo killed Shenlong. Bulma is absolutely shocked that even Shenlong is dead. So they gather up the stone balls that used to be the Dragon Balls with the bodies of Roshi and Chaozu. They take them back to Master Roshi's island. Roshi and Chaozu are put into preservation capsules. They don't know what to do with the stones that used to be the Dragon Balls. And Ten Shenhan goes somewhere out into a forest and trains to try to learn the Mafuba technique. So, there is a television program on the television news on ZTV or Zeta TV. King Chao presents a presentation to where he explains that Devil Emperor Piccolo is now the ruler of Earth. And so the camera crewmen go to Piccolo. Piccolo has his skull thrown inside the royal chamber and explains that he is now the Devil Emperor, or the King of Earth, and he rules all the nations of the earth with an absolute wicked fist. He explains that there will be no more laws. The police are unfunded. There will be no more police or security, and crime is now law. Piccolo explains that all prisoners will be released, all criminals will be released, there will be no more laws and no more rules, and that every year on the anniversary, May the 9th on the anniversary of his coronation, May the 9th, he will destroy one nation. He also explains that if a warlord comes into power in one of the nations and kills enough people and does enough crime, he will actually name an entire nation after that warlord. But he will now be the supreme ruler of the world. So Piccolo explains that if anyone disagrees with his rules and the way that he sees things, to come and visit him any time to try to overthrow his rule. The king tries to interrupt and stop it and explain that someone has to save the world from Piccolo, but Piccolo almost chokes the king to death and throws him on the ground. So at Karin's tower, Goku and Yajirobe are talking about what's going on. Karin is absolutely shocked, absolutely disparaged that various people are now dead. Korin is utterly in shock. So it turns out that Korin already knows what's going on the Earth. Korin explains that he has been watching from on top of Korin Tower and has been looking down on events going on Earth or in the world, and explains that he already knows about Devil Emperor Piccolo. So Korin and Yajirobe explain to Goku who Devil Emperor Piccolo is. He gives Goku a Senzu Bean, and this is the first time in the manga and the anime that the Senzu Bean is used to heal and to recover. So Korin gives Goku a Senzu Bean, and Goku recovers and regains his strength. Then Yajirobe eats up a bunch of Senzu Beans, and his stomach gets really big and bulgy, and he gets overfed. Yajirobe is truly impressed with how much one Senzu Bean can actually feed you. So Korin is truly shocked that Devil Emperor Piccolo has escaped and is now bringing the Earth and humanity back into utter darkness. Korin explains that Piccolo is no pushover, and Goku will have to train and get much, much stronger to beat him. So Goku wants Korin to train him, but Korin explains that Goku is almost stronger than he is at this point, and that he has nothing else to teach Goku. Goku is very desperate, absolutely desperate to find some way to beat Devil Emperor Piccolo. Korin explains that there is indeed a way. There is a special water. Indeed, the sacred ultra super god water, the Chao Shu Sui. 3 years before, Goku drank what he thought was the Chao Shu Sui, but it turned out to be just plain tap water. This time, Korin tells Goku that he is now ready. If Goku is truly pure of heart and has unstoppable courage and inner strength, he can actually drink the super holy god water, or the super Chao Shu Sui. So Korin brings it forth. It is a teapot, and on the teapot is a very unusual and peculiar kanji. It is a red lettering kanji that says God on it. So Korin presents it, but Korin explains that the tea or the water is very poisonous, the most poisonous water in the world. He explains that 18 or 20-something people have already drank it, and they all died from poisoning. So Yajirobe takes a very brief sip of the water and immediately becomes sick. In fact, Yajirobe's face turns pink and he vomits. Yajirobe explains that that stuff is very poisonous, and he tells Goku not to drink it. But Goku realizes that he has no other choice. He must drink the Chao Shu Sui, the super god holy water. Korin explains that Goku could train for several years to get stronger, but Goku insists. So Korin pours the super ultra god water, the water of the gods, the nectar of the gods, into a cup and gives it to Goku. Goku drinks it and immediately drops the cup and falls down and becomes extremely ill and sick. Goku is waddling on the ground, choking, utterly sick and poisoned, as Goku struggles on for dear life. In the forest, Ten Shenhan performs the Mafuba wave and fires it at the repaired Denji jar but misses it. Ten Shenhan trains several times with the Mafuba wave until at last Ten Shenhan, after about 2 or so nights, maybe 3 nights of training, or an entire night of training. After 1 entire night of brutal training, masters the Mafuba, the demon sealing wave, and takes the Denji jar and goes to the central capital. At the top of Korin's tower itself, Goku is hanging on for dear life, choking and under extreme pain. Then Korin has a chill down the spine of his back. Korin, of all people, has goosebumps. Korin senses a giant ape, an Ozaru, a giant wolf monster, or a giant gorilla, screaming and roaring in the background. Korin wonders, could that actually be Goku? Is that Goku's actual power, his inner strength, his inner Zen, or state of Zen? All of a sudden, Goku comes to. The strange and unusual dark energy emanating from Goku is gone. Goku stands up and notices that there is indeed something different about him. Goku points out that he can sense a new power in himself, an inner strength, an inner being. Not only is Goku stronger, but there is something very different about him. Goku is the first person to ever survive the super ultra divine holy god water, the water of the gods. Goku is now stronger than he has ever been. Indeed, Korin can feel the Ozaru, which is the true inner strength of Goku, having awakened within him. Now, Goku does not know that he could transform in the light of the full moon into the Ozaru, but its strength is now his. Goku points out that he is ready to fight Devil Emperor Piccolo and save the fate of the world from his evil. So anyways, Ten Shinhan contacts Bulma, Yamcha, and the others and tells them that he is going to use the Mafuba wave on Devil Emperor Piccolo and seal him away in the Denji jar. He points out that this will probably be his last day alive and tells them farewell and to try to hide out in the event that he fails to go into hiding and to try and stay safe. So Ten Shinhan flies to the central capital. Devil Emperor Piccolo goes back on television and points out that every year on the anniversary of his coronation, he will destroy an entire nation into utter oblivion. This time, Devil Emperor Piccolo chooses Western City. So Devil Emperor Piccolo tells the inhabitants of the Western City that they better flee as fast as they can because he is going there and he's going to destroy the entire city and all of its inhabitants. So Devil Emperor Piccolo and Piano get into an airship and are about to fly off. At Korin's tower, Korin tells Goku that he now can use a new Kento Un. Goku explains that he can sense, he can actually feel Devil Emperor Piccolo, and he knows where to go to fight him. So Korin summons a super gigantic yellow cloud, a cloud of Kento Uns. Korin explains that he is the keeper of the Kento Uns, and it was him who gave it to Master Roshi. So Korin gives Goku a new Kento Un. Goku jumps on the gigantic cloud of Kento-un and pulls out his own and gets a new Kento-un and flies off. Yajirobe wants to have a Kento-un, but Korin explains that he is not pure-hearted enough to have one. So Goku is now flying at max speed, following the energy or the essence of Piccolo to face him off a second time. Ten Shenhan runs into Piccolo and challenges him. So Piccolo, Piccolo, Piano, and Ten Shenhan fly down in front of the backdrop of the king's castle, and they prepare to fight. Devil Emperor Piccolo vomits out or spits out a giant dinosaur egg, and out of it emanates a new demonic yokai offspring that he calls Drum. His new warrior that he has birthed, demonically spawned, will be known as Drum. Drum is a fat kind of dinosaur green monster that is very big and giant and strong compared to Ten Shenhan. And so Ten Shenhan begins to fight and go after Drum. Ten Shenhan also notices that the Denji jar is broken. When Ten Shenhan used the Mafuba wave to train with it, he broke the Denji jar, and therefore Ten Shenhan cannot use it to defeat Piccolo. Ten Shenhan tries his best to fight, but the stakes turn to his disfavor. Drum very much overpowers Ten Shenhan and beats him into a pulp. Then, with his bare claws, is about to strike Ten Shenhan, and is then kicked and knocked onto the ground. Some fast force knocked Drum out, and it is Goku. Son Goku is back. Son Goku is furious and mad, and Son Goku is strong. His muscles in his arms are bulging, his chest is bulging. Goku is different. The expression on his face is different. Goku has become a completely more peaceful and calmer person, and is stronger than ever before. Even Piccolo is quite surprised to see Kid Goku back and ready to trounce him. So Drum gets up and goes at Goku. Goku dodges his attacks and then punches and kicks him, kicking out his eyeball. Drum's eyeball pops out of his head, and Drum falls to the ground dead. Piccolo is absolutely furious that a mere human could so easily destroy his demon offspring. But Goku is ready. Goku knows. In fact, Ten Shenhan tells Goku that the mutant Roshi and Chaozu are also dead. And several martial arts finalists have also been killed. Now Goku is truly ready to save the world from evil, in the first serious mission that Goku does to save the world from the evil of Piccolo Daimao. So daimyo is a Japanese feudal term that means feudal lord. It basically means a castle lord or a fortress lord. And so that's what a daimao or daimyo is. It is a castle lord or a castle keeper, kind of like a feudal lord or a feudal knight. And so, the great battle of the century begins. Son Goku, the human, versus Devil Emperor Piccolo, Lord of Demons. And so the fight begins. Goku and Devil Emperor Piccolo go out and fight each other. In fact, Goku notices that Piccolo looks different. Piccolo explains that he used the Dragon Balls to wish to have his youth and power restored. And Goku explains that he too has had some changes done. So Goku and Devil Emperor Piccolo fight, and they exchange blows in a final episodic duel. Goku and Piccolo both go to the air as they exchange blows. Piccolo, using his size and his imposition of weight against Goku, tries to overpower Goku, but to his surprise, Goku jumps up on his shoulder and kicks him in the face, punches him, and knocks him out, throws him into the air and then into the castle. Piccolo falls right into the castle, and the entire tower falls to the ground into utter pieces. Piccolo gets up and walks out, and finally it turns out that both of them were holding back, and they have even more raw power than even Ten Shenhan could have even envisioned that they had had. So Piccolo powers up to maximum power. The ground begins to shake. Yellow bolts of lightning or ki aura surrounds Piccolo as he powers up and his muscles get bigger and bulgier. Then Piccolo attacks. Piccolo fires a Kai blast that blows up in a gigantic explosion, but Goku of course dodges it. And so the battle gets dirty. At some point, Piccolo falls on Piano's neck and breaks it. Piano dies. Piano's neck is broken by Devil Emperor Piccolo, and that is the end of his sidekick, Piano. And so Piccolo and Goku go all out in a multitude of various assaults and attacks. Piccolo, for example, will try to use his height and weight to his advantage. Goku to his disadvantage. As Goku jumps around and kicks Piccolo, uses the Zanzoken very fast or very quickly, and they basically exchange blows and stuff. At some point, Piccolo somersault punches Goku into the ground, creating a giant crater by Ten Shenhan. Goku just jumps out and fires a Kamehameha. However, this time, just as the gigantic Kamehameha flies in front of Piccolo, Goku, with his own hands, turns the Kamehameha to the side of Piccolo, then behind him, and fires it behind him, causing it to explode in an unguarded area of Piccolo. Piccolo is truly overcome. Piccolo continues to become angrier and more furious that a mere human child, a human boy, is actually proving to be his match. It is truly exciting. In the meantime, Bulma, Launch, Oolong, Puar, Yamcha, and the others are in a ship, and they're going to the central capital, and they're going to help, and they're all armed with guns and stuff, and they're all ready to go fight Devil Emperor Piccolo and the Demon Clan and save the Earth. Then, in fact, Yamcha remembers that 3 years ago, at Fortune Teller Baba or Uronai Baba's palace, right after Goku, or right when Goku had gathered all 7 Dragon Balls and went with Upa to the sacred land of Korin to revive Bora, Uronai Baba told them that Goku is a very unusual and strong boy. In fact, he will save the Earth one day. And 3 years later, Goku is fulfilling Uronai Baba's prophecy of old. Indeed, Goku is going to save the world. Regardless, the fight intensifies and continues as Goku goes all out against Devil Emperor Piccolo, the Lord of Demons and the Prince of Darkness himself. So Piccolo extends out his claws and fights and swaps Goku. He grabs Goku by the leg and throws him into a building and smashes him down. But Goku gets back up, kicks Piccolo in the neck, and they exchange deadly martial arts blows. Piccolo and Goku move so fast that the King and Ten Shenhan are not able to keep up with them. There is also a news report, a news bulletin, that a fight is broken out in front of the King's castle. There is an unnamed young boy who is fighting Devil Emperor Piccolo and a strange bald guy. Yamcha and the others, Bulma and the others, realize that it's Goku and Ten Shenhan, and that's when they find out that Goku is still alive. The fight continues as it goes all out. The ground shakes and falls apart as Goku and Piccolo kick and punch and fight each other. Piccolo fires eye lasers at Goku, but Goku tosses them aside with a karate chop. Goku kicks Piccolo in the face, punches him on the side of the torso, then somersault kicks him onto the ground and punches him multiple times. At first, Goku and Piccolo seem evenly matched, but over time, you can tell that Devil Emperor Piccolo is weakening. Devil Emperor Piccolo finally powers up to his maximum power, but Goku is still holding back. Yes, indeed, Goku is stronger than Devil Emperor Piccolo. The fight continues as they both go all out in an epic, titanic struggle. Finally, Piccolo takes a pebble or a rock and throws it at Goku. Goku successfully hits it, but then an eye laser hits Goku in the knee, damaging his leg. Goku now has an almost broken leg, just like what Ten Shenhan did to Yamcha in the quarterfinals of the previous tournament. Goku now has a bleeding, injured leg. Goku has blood dripping from his face and blood dripping from his broken leg. In fact, in the last standoff between Gohan and Cell, one of Gohan's legs is actually damaged, and Gohan goes into an all-out Kamehameha clash with Cell, with a damaged leg and a damaged arm. This fight is very similar to the Gohan and Perfect Cell fight in a way. So now Goku has a damaged leg. However, Goku takes the Noibo and uses it to kick Piccolo directly in the chest. Using the force from the Noibo, Goku successfully kicks Piccolo in the face and punches him and knocks him down. Piccolo falls right down on his back. Piccolo is getting furious. In fact, there is a manga chapter called Ikari, or Ikari, which is Japanese for fury. Piccolo's nerves are popping out of his face and arms. Finally, Piccolo fights back and throws Goku and lunges him into a building. But Goku just keeps coming back again and again and again. But now that Goku has an injured leg, Piccolo assumes that he has the upper hand. So Goku taunts Devil Emperor Piccolo. Piccolo powers up and fires a couple of ki blasts. They're kind of like yellow-colored ki blasts at Goku and stuff, but Goku just barely dodges them. Finally, Devil Emperor Piccolo powers up with his full powerful ki and fires a Masenko, or a blast. Now, Piccolo does not call the attack a Masenko or Masenko, but he fires a gigantic demonic energy wave that kind of looks like the tri-beam. It kind of looks like the tri-beam, but it looks also like a Kamehameha. He fires it at Goku. Ten Shenhan jumps right in the way of the attack, and it explodes. Now, the king, King Chao, the king and the last of the royal guards, have already escaped and have flown away and survived. But there is an atomic bomb-like explosion. The entire king's castle and the entire central capital is utterly eviscerated in an atomic-like bomb. Just like Hiroshima and Nagasaki, an atomic bomb destroys the entire central capital. Cars, vehicles, planes, buildings are flying everywhere. It's like a tornado, blowing up an entire city. Yamcha and the others are on an airplane heading to the central capital, and in fact, they see a mushroom cloud in the distance. When the dust settles, the entire city is rubbish. The entire city is utterly rubble. There is a desert, an entire desert of sand, a wasteland. However, Devil Emperor Piccolo realizes that he can still sense Goku's ki. Ten Shenhan is up in the air using the Buku Jutsu, the sky dancing technique, and saved Goku's life. Goku taunts Devil Emperor Piccolo and actually jumps up and lunges and punches him and kicks him. Piccolo is starting to get kind of tired, but decides that he will fire the attack again. Devil Emperor Piccolo mocks Goku for being a human, for being only a mere human and incapable of fighting the Lord of Demons. So Piccolo powers up again and fires a Masenko-like beam attack at Goku. Goku takes it head on this time and it explodes. There is an atomic bomb-like explosion and another mushroom cloud in the distance. This time there is a gigantic crater that is the size of several city blocks. But the Kento-un flies down, Goku grabs onto it and is pulled up. Also, Piccolo fires a laser blast from his finger and knocks the Noibo out of Goku's side before he fires the first blast. So now the Noibo has been lost. Piccolo has fired 2 gigantic Kai blasts and is now too weak to fire any more Kai attacks. So Goku and Piccolo are talking. Ten Shenhan is completely tired and about to pass out, but is holding on nevertheless. And so Devil Emperor Piccolo rushes behind Ten Shenhan, grabs his head, pulls him up, and takes him hostage. Piccolo tells Goku that if he does not surrender, he will kill Ten Shenhan. But Goku knows that the Dragon Balls can be used to resurrect. Ten Shenhan. That is when Piccolo explains to Goku that he killed the Dragon God Shenlong. Goku is absolutely shocked and surprised. Even the Dragon God Shenlong has been destroyed, and the Dragon Balls are no more. So Piccolo takes a rock or a pebble and throws it at Goku's right arm or left arm and breaks it. Then he throws another rock and breaks Goku's other leg. Now Goku has 1 arm and 2 legs that are damaged, and Goku cannot even stand. Piccolo throws Ten Shenhan to the side and flies up into the air, up into the sky, and flies down like a hawk. like a giant hawk fowl upon coming down upon its prey. Piccolo, Devil Emperor Piccolo, lunges down from the air using the force of gravity to kill Goku. But, using all of his remaining strength, Goku fires a ki blast that is not a Kamehameha. There is a giant explosion as Goku fires a Kai blast, using the force and the strength of the Kai blast to force himself up against Devil Emperor Piccolo. An entire yellow aura eviscerates Goku's arm, and Goku fires the Great Ape Fist at Devil Emperor Piccolo. Devil Emperor Piccolo blocks it and says that Goku does not have the strength to defeat him. Then, at a very last second, or at the very last moment, Piccolo senses something about Goku. It's as if there is another entity or another creature behind Goku. And then Piccolo sees behind Goku the Great Ape, the Great Ozaru, as it smashes right into Piccolo's arms. Just like that, Goku one-punches right through Piccolo's torso. There is a gigantic hole right in the middle of Devil Emperor Piccolo. Piccolo is beaten. His guts and blood are popped right out as Goku Ozaru punched Piccolo. It is truly, this is actually, I think this is one of the greatest moments in Dragon Ball. Goku obliterating Devil Emperor Piccolo. So anyways, Goku cries and breaks out in tears as he drops to the ground, remembering his dead friends, Krillin, the Mutant Roshi, Chaozu, and all those innocent people that Devil Emperor Piccolo innocently murdered in cold blood. Goku remembers them and calls out to Krillin, the Mutant Roshi, and Chaozu. Yajirobe catches Goku as he falls to the ground and saves him. As for Devil Emperor Piccolo, he's beaten. Piccolo says that he has actually been defeated by a mere human child, a child of Earth, a child of warmth and good nurturing and good nature has beaten the King of Demons. But Piccolo's rule will not be bested yet. Using all of his essence and power, Piccolo conjures up one final dinosaur egg and demonically spawns it and spits it out as fast as he can. Without nobody noticing, Piccolo spits out a really giant egg and sends it way off into the distance to a far-off river where it flows away, successfully hiding it. Piccolo tells his son, his last demonic spawn, to avenge his father's death and destroy Goku and all those that oppose the Devil Emperor. And then Piccolo blows up and dies. Devil Emperor Piccolo is no more. Demon King Piccolo destroys and dies. And that is the end of Piccolo for now. So Yajirobe and Ten Shenhan and an injured Goku celebrate the passing of the Devil Emperor. But Goku needs to go back to Karin Tower to get another Senzu Bean. So Yajirobe yet again takes Goku back to Karin Tower to give Goku a Senzu Bean so that he can recover from defeating and saving the world from Devil Emperor Piccolo and the Demon Clan. Anyways, right after Goku and Yajirobe depart, Yamcha and the others arrive and they're ready to fight Piccolo, and they heard a nearby explosion. But Ten Shenhan explains that the fight is over, Goku was still alive, and he killed Demon King Piccolo, or Devil Emperor Piccolo, and the world is saved. So they leave the central capital and they go back to Master Roshi's island, and they try to figure out what they're going to do or how they're going to get their lives back together, since Roshi, Krillin, and Chaozu are dead and the Dragon Balls are no more. So Goku and Yajirobe return to Karin Tower. Karin gives Goku a Senzu Bean. Goku recovers. And Goku and Karin are talking. Karin explains that because of the demonic nature of Devil Emperor Piccolo and the Demon Clan, anyone who is killed, or any human that is killed by a demon, they don't go to the afterlife. When you are murdered by a demon, you don't go to the afterlife. Instead, you go to limbo, where you dwell in absolute utter darkness in a state between death and the afterlife for all eternity. Which is why Karin explains that Goku must use the Dragon Balls to resurrect his dead friends. But Goku explains that Devil Emperor Piccolo destroyed Shenlong. Karin is utterly shocked. At first, it seems like that there is no hope. However, Karin explains that there is a way to save Goku's friends. But it is only one final way, and that is to go and see the creator of the Dragon Balls, God Sama, Kami-sama, the god of Earth, Kami-sama, who in fact is Karin's superior or attendant superior. Goku wants to see the god of Earth, Kami-sama, but in order to go to Kami-sama's palace, Goku will need the Noibo. So Goku goes back on the Kento-un and goes and searches for the Noibo, or the power pole. Goku goes back to where the fight was at, searches around in the wasteland, but still cannot find the Noibo. Meanwhile, in a far-off river forest, a dinosaur egg has hatched, and a demonic little brat, or a demonic child, has been spawned. It is in fact Piccolo Devil Jr., or Ma Jr. Demon Piccolo Jr. has been born. Ma Jr. contains all of the memories, the soul, and all the powers and abilities of Devil Emperor Piccolo. Devil Emperor Piccolo did not die. He reincarnated into Piccolo. And Piccolo knows who Goku is and says that he will get his revenge. Piccolo's reincarnation will get revenge on Goku and humankind yet, and will rule the world in darkness. Anyways, Goku goes to Uronai Baba's palace, and Goku says that he will fight all of the Fortune Teller Crone's 5 champions. But luckily for Goku, none of Uronai Baba or Fortune Teller Crone's 5 champions will even dare to fight whoever it was that defeated Piccolo. Goku defeated Devil Emperor Piccolo, and no one is about ready to challenge Goku. Goku truly is potentially the strongest person in the world, or on Earth. Regardless, Uronai Baba tells Goku where to find the Noibo, that it's on the Mutant Roshi's Island. So Goku goes to Mutant Roshi's Island, and for the last time, Bulma, Yamcha, Bulma, Yamcha, Launch, Oolong, Turtle, Puar, and Ten Shenhan will see Kid Goku. Goku is running up and down the house, He doesn't talk much, but he does tell the others that he has found a way to bring their dead friends back to life. So Goku finds the Noibo. It's being used as a clothes hanger outside to dry a rack of clothes. Goku grabs it, flies off on the Kento Un, returns to Karin Tower. Ten Shenhan and Yamcha are already training for the next Tenkaichi Budokai as they train to become stronger, hoping to see Goku again one day. At Karin's tower, Karin explains to Son Goku that the original purpose of the Noibo was to be used as a connection or a connector between heaven and earth, God's realm and man's realm. Man's realm on earth and God's realm in the heavens. On the very highest top of Karin Tower, with the power of the Noibo, Goku flies up, using his grandfather's Noibo, who passed it on to him, who the mutant Roshi had passed on to grandfather Gohan, who Karin gave to Roshi. Yes, indeed, from Karin to Roshi to grandfather Gohan to Goku, Goku returns the Noibo to Karin and uses it to fly up to God Sama's realm, to the heavenly sanctuary. Goku, using the Noibo, goes up to the highest of the heavens and finds the heavenly sanctuary, Kami's Lookout. The Noibo connects to the bottom, and Goku climbs a ladder and reaches the top. There it is, a Greco-Roman temple, much like on the top of Mount Olympus, God's palace and God's heavenly sanctuary. There is a giant garden in the front. It is here that Goku meets a mysterious fat genie. At first, Goku thinks that the genie is actually Kami or God, but it turns out that he is Mr. Popo. The man's name is Mr. Popo. Goku explains that he needs to see God or Kami, but Mr. Popo denies Goku's ability to see God, because he must first defeat Mr. Popo. Mr. Popo is truly impressed at Goku's pure heart, good nature, and great courage and absolute strength. Goku has also brought a ring or Goku also brought a bell that Korin gave to him to give to Mr. Popo. When Goku gives the bell to Mr. Popo realizes that Goku is indeed the chosen one. And so, Goku now has to defeat Mr. Popo. So Goku fights. However, Mr. Popo dodges all of Goku's attacks and just punches him, and with just a few hits, Goku is almost down. So Goku uses full power and goes full berserk against Mr. Popo, and is still no match. Goku fires a Kamehameha. Mr. Popo eats it. Goku uses the Zanzoken. Mr. Popo hits the real Goku. Goku uses the Great Ape Ozaru Rage Fist. Mr. Popo dodges that. It seems as if Goku is just no match for Mr. Popo. Mr. Popo explains to Goku that he is actually not necessarily stronger than him, but he does not know how to fight. Goku is still a rookie, a beginner of the martial arts. Goku is really surprised that Mr. Popo would tell him this, but Mr. Popo tells Goku to go home, and he is not the one who defeated Devil Emperor Piccolo. At Karin's tower, Karin is kind of laughing. Yajirobe wants to know what Karin is hiding. But Karin explains that when Goku does see God or Kami, at least Kami's face, he will be in for a particular surprise. So Mr. Popo tells Goku that he only uses his sight and he needs to learn to use his other senses, like his hearing. Goku needs to combine all of his body parts, all of his senses, all of his abilities, and everything that he has to successfully win. But first, to overcome his opponent, Mr. Popo tells Goku that he must first overcome himself. And to do that, he must empty his soul. Goku must learn how to meditate and to reach an inner state of calm, an inner state of Zen. So Goku thinks that in order to empty his mind and empty his soul, Goku has to make the same facial expressions as Mr. Popo. Goku decides to start running around and training, but about 15 or 30 minutes later, Goku is completely out of breath. Mr. Popo tells Goku that the air up there in the highest of heavens is a lot thinner than the air on Earth, which makes it a lot harder to breathe and to move. Mr. Popo tells Goku that he will have to learn movement without movement, thought without thought, attack without attack. The true Zen state of the martial arts. Finally, the voice of God appears. God's voice tells Mr. Popo and Son Goku to appear in the front of his palace. And so they do so. Mr. Popo and Goku bow down before the god of Earth, Kami-sama, as he steps out of his front temple doors. At first, Goku is excited, but then he sees Kami step out, and he sees the aged Devil Emperor Piccolo himself. Goku thinks it is Piccolo and attacks. Kami freezes Goku, and just by the mere width of his finger, by simply flicking his finger, Goku falls over and is not even able to so much as touch Kami-sama. Goku is now very confused. Kami, who explains, Kami, the god of Earth, explains that Karin did not tell Goku the full and complete truth of who he actually is. So yes, Goku is confused. Goku knows that Kami is not Devil Emperor Piccolo, but looks exactly like Devil Emperor Piccolo. God, or Kami, explains that many ages ago, many eons ago, him and Devil Emperor Piccolo were one and the same person. And just like Son Goku this very day, Kami also wanted to see Kami-sama, that he had trained for a long time and was also a chosen one who came to the heavenly sanctuary to become the new god of Earth, the next Kami-sama. Kami was the next in line as the god of Earth. The gods of Earth, or the Kamis, are actually mortals. They do not live forever, and eventually they do die. The previous god, the previous Kami, eventually died. But before Kami